Brian is really well versed in the framework that's here, being the architect himself. Again, not knowing the basis of the conversation, at least I would like for you to set the stage for us and introduce to our audience the framework. Talk about the Baker's Blueprint.
If you're not clear, your audience won't be clear either. First, you got to figure out what do you want to talk about and why it matters. What type of effect do you want to have? That's the number one step. You gotta prepare. What is it that you want to talk about? If you're not clear, your audience won't be clear either. Here's number two. Number two is practice. See, practice exposes what preparation can't. You got to do the thing. You got to do it in different environments. You got to do it in different settings, whether you do it in front of 10 people or whether you do it in front of 1,000 people. You must practice so your body can get used to saying it out loud. There's something different when you say something in your head versus saying it out loud. When you say it out loud, it hits different. This is that place when you're practicing where you're refining your words, you're refining your delivery, your flow. All of that is done in the practice stage. This is where you get your reps. But after the practice comes the repetition. Yeah. See, the repetition is where you become the master. Now I'm giving you all game right now. Same thing I'm about to do right when I go outside. It's the same thing I'm doing right now. I'm doing that repetition over and over again. See, I've internalized the message. I've internalized that message so well that I believe it. And if you believe it, that's when you can have all types of impact on other people. How many of you know what your life is going to look like after you graduate from college? Like seriously. We got a brave one up here. He got his hands up. I love it. We're going to come back to that. Anybody else? You know what your life is going to look like. I'm talking about your money. I'm talking about where you're going to live. Talking about your career. Do you know what it's going to look like? Okay. That's okay. Because when I was just sitting in your seats, I didn't know either. But here's the harder question. For the one, and there was only one in here that said yes to that question. Here's the second question, sir. Do you have a plan and know how you're going to get there? That's the harder question. Do you have a plan and you know how to get to where you want to go? That's the harder one. Most people don't have a plan. Most people struggle with their life because they can't connect the dots from where they are now, here at ECU or any college campus, to where they're going to go in their career. They can't connect the dots. So here's the thing. I'm here because I want to express the story. I used to be in that same chair, same seat, graduating, had that feeling of uncertainty, didn't know exactly what the future was going to hold. But guess what? I took some steps, I used some resources, and it just so happened that the same company that hired me out of college, the same company I work for today, which is BB&T, now Truist. There's a gap between the classroom and the conference room and what employers are looking for. And see, sometimes that gap, we get it misconstrued. See, here in college, you're talking about tests, you're talking about assignments, you're talking about knowledge. The real world is a little different. The real world is looking at your relationships that you build. The real world is looking at your communication skills. The real world is looking at how do you react under pressure. There's a difference, a huge difference. How I got that opportunity was from an on-campus interview. On-campus interview. That's where it all started. I had to show how my communication was. I had to get through round one. Round one was on the campus. Round two was a callback interview process. Now at the time, this was back in 2002, so I'm about to show my age here. When I went to the second round interview, which was in Winston-Salem, that's where it got real. Yeah, I passed that first step. which is that on-campus interview. But now I'm competing for one of 80 spots for this management development program. The second round interview being in Winston-Salem was at a hotel, and we had more than 500 students, undergraduate and graduate, all competing for 80 spots. I'm from a little school, the University of North Carolina at Greensboro. When I went into that second round interview, I did feel some type of way about who I was. Even though I had the pedigree, even though I had the community service, the leadership, I still walked in there because when I went through that program, there weren't a lot of people that looked like me in that room. I had a little bit of imposter syndrome. Anybody know what I'm talking about? I had that imposter syndrome that came over me when I was going through my second round interview, and this is the one that counted. You might have got past the first step, but I needed to get past the second step. I go in, this is a 2-day event, it's a Thursday and Friday, and I go through on that Thursday night, and that's where they have the dinner. This is where they bring everybody in from all these universities, whether it be ECU, Carolina, Penn, I'm talking about Stanford, Duke, Carolina, everybody is here, all in this room, and we're all networking. We're all getting to know one another. That's the time and the place in my mind where I had to lock in. Because that thought that sometimes some of us have, some of you may not, but that thought that I had in my brain, I had to really change the way I talked to myself that night. On that Thursday night, I had to really step up to the plate and say, Brian, you earned this opportunity. Brian, you have the pedigree. Brian, you are the one that they are going to select. I had to talk to myself. One thing led to another, and on that Friday, all of us, all the people that were competing for this 80 spots, now we're going through our second round of interviews. It was a full day event. Again, one thing leads to another, and I earned the opportunity to go through that leadership program. I'm telling you guys all of this for a reason. Because some of you that's sitting out there that are listening to these words right now, you know what I'm talking about. It's the way that we talk to ourselves. But hopefully when I'm getting ready to share with you all these stories and I'm giving you this framework, it's going to register that you too have earned this opportunity. This next story, this is the one that changed my life. See, my keynote is supposed to be about communication, it's supposed to be about relationships, it's supposed to be about public speaking. But people come first. When you leave this university, the relationships that you build, the relationships that you nurture have a tremendous effect on the success that you're going to have in your life. I'm telling you that hands down. Remember, I've been gone from this university setting for more than 2 decades. I've been a top producer. I've been recognized by a Fortune 500 company 10 years in a row for performance. I know what it takes. I know what it takes to perform at a high level. But I'm telling you that people come first. Ron stretched me. He walked me through my very first house in 2010 to fix and flip. Now, at the time I was married, I went back to my wife. I said, hey, I just had this conversation with Ron. She knew Ron. It's like, Ron was talking to me about investing in real estate. We're going to take our savings that had been saving for, and you want me to invest in real estate? Boy, are you crazy? I had to keep working on it. That single decision made me millionaire number 2. All because somebody stretched me. They believed in me. Mentors are going to be a huge part of the success of where your career goes. You're going to have certain people that are going to come in and out of your life, and whether or not you lean into that can have magnificent changes in your life. That's what Ron did for me. In my world, we look at credit reports to determine whether or not somebody's credit worthy. I want you to think about your reputation and how you treat people, and that be your currency with where your career goes. Nobody has seen this book. You are the first person that I am signing this book, okay?
Oh my gosh.
And This means a whole lot to me because this was the first opportunity that I had at a speaking opportunity within this 2-week span of when my book is going to be released.
Really?
So I'm honored that I had the opportunity to come here to ECU,
Right.
come out here, give y'all a little tidbit of knowledge, some nuggets, some takeaways, and then say, this is something was brewing for about 2 years that now I've completed, and now I get the opportunity to sign this bad boy and to give it to somebody.
Thank you so
And you
much.
are the very first person that's getting a book.
Thank you. I'm honored. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah, public speaking is something I'm still working on, and so hearing you and just seeing how like your presence is so like big, I really appreciate
Meet you,
that.
man.
Thank you so much for that presentation. It's really,
Yeah.
I loved your energy, man. Loved the
Good.
confidence that you show out. You really show everyone, you know, it all takes practice, repetition.
It does. It does. I mean, again, just so everybody here, I'm not trying to hide anything. When I graduated, was I the same person that just did that
Absolutely
35, 40 minute? I can tell you that, Jay, I was not. I was still trying to understand who I was. And the public speaking is just another part in the evolution of who I am, but it took time.
Yeah, I bet.
Right?
I bet.
And so have patience with yourself, but hopefully the reason why I'm here is to express, here's some things that I learned along the way with relationships and then more specifically the public speaking. And I know from history, I know from what I'm doing at this exact moment that if you work on that skill set, it doesn't matter if you go into tech, healthcare, education, it doesn't matter, hospitality, it doesn't matter. If you can lead, if you can get in a group of people and speak words where they can listen, sometimes it's informational, you write the check, bro.
Go a long way.
Yes.
Go a long way.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I took public speaking as a class last semester, but you just gave me probably more advice than I did in that entire class. And that class was 2.5 months long, and I think you gave me more advice than I'll ever.
That's
take.
what's up. Hey, Carter, I'm going to take that one to the bank.
Dude, the thing is for me, for me, it was always the eye contact. I struggled with that because I never wanted to like intimidate people.
Yeah.
Because I took international marketing, I got the impression that like other cultures, like it's disrespectful, but you know, we obviously are a different culture, and I should have known that like it's all about the confidence, and I've kind of been lacking on it, and now I kind of know because I want to run my father's business when I'm older.
What kind of business
He does
is
trucking business.
Okay, yep.
Hands-on labor kind of stuff. Not logistics, but we do like trailer repair and stuff like that. So I like to be hands-on, stuff like that. But you know, like my dad made all of his connections through confidence, and I kind of been lacking in that. Just because I never had to grow up like he did. He lost his mom very young. But I've had a loving family, but I never really had. My dad's been a great role model, but I never had someone really push me the way that I need to be pushed. So it's really great that, you know, you're able to kind of get out there and really push me and be like, you know, confidence is everything. You didn't even have to look at a script, I don't think. You
Nah, bro, but here's the thing. Like I told you, I've internalized this.
Okay.
I'm here to give this message. Real talk, I got up at 4:30 this morning to go get Phil so that I can drive from outside of Greensboro all the way here this morning. Okay? And after I leave here, then I go back home to my family. But I'm here to give you that spark. That thing that I just did was the spark. Now, I can't do the work.
I got to do the work.
You know what I'm saying?
Repetition.
That's right. I'm
Repetition.
giving you the spark so that something that I said, something that I shared with you, it hit you right here to be like, maybe that's what I needed. I needed to hear that. Now I can continue to work on it.
It's exactly what he said. You know, I've been to so many public speaking
Yeah.
classes. I've seen people talk. No one's done it as you, engaging as you, and I appreciate that. And like, it felt just like really like natural. Like you didn't have a script.
Yeah.
You're awesome, man. That's all I
Yeah,
got.
well, hey, man, I'm honored. So I don't take it lightly, William. Again, I've put in work, right? I like to show up because it's a business for me as well. And so when I'm showing up, it means a lot when I'm speaking to young leaders. I'm speaking to individuals they're going through something that I went through. And if I can share some knowledge, I can give you some nuggets that's going to help you along your way. That's what helps me. But it's here, though.
Yes, sir.
I'm doing this because I know that it's making a difference.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. I appreciate it.
So I gotta say, I loved your presentation.
I appreciate
and
it.
I loved like your
like when you talked about discipline and public speaking, because those are crazy important parts. And I loved your example about a stick, because not many people.
Yeah, I think you were one of the very few. There was the other gentleman that's one of the speakers this afternoon. He raises in. I think you were the only other one.
Yeah.
It's just not a popular type of vehicle that people, they don't even really make them as much.
No, they do not, because I've got my Class A CDLs.
Okay, all right, so you know how to drive a big
Yes,
rig
sir.
then.
I can drive anything that's got wheels on it.
Okay, that's awesome, man.
A public speaker came to our class, and that got me interested in it. But I've got my first internship this summer. Out of all places,
That's
it's at a
good.
construction place.
Okay, construction, meaning like commercial construction?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
We build commercial buildings. We're a general contractor. We're local to Greenville. We are building a new ECU training facility right there by the football stadium. And my company that I work for, we're actually one of the general contractors for there. So I've been all on that job.
That's dope,
yeah, it's
man.
pretty cool to say,
And right,
like,
you are actually, yes, you are building,
ECU.
and when it's done, you could say to your peoples, you be like, yo,
I
that
helped
facility
build that.
right there, I helped build it.
Yes, sir.
That's dope, man.
I just wanted to say that your presentation was really good, and it really did.
thank
It was
you.
really moving.
Good. Hey, that's what I'm here for. I was
Yes.
telling somebody else, just like light a fire, right? You got to go do the work.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't do the work for you, but at least I can share some things that I've went through, or share a little bit of my story. And then as you go out there, you maybe you're going to encounter a couple of things like what I've mentioned about relationships. I'm just saying, like, hey, how instrumental that is to build relationships. A coworker hit me up. This was about 2.5 years ago, and she had the opportunity to speak to a group of real estate agents. Now, again, I work in the mortgage industry. She did too. She was scared to go and speak in front of 75 to 100 people. And this was an opportunity for her to get in front of our what's called proximity of people that could help her with business, but she was scared. She hit me up and said, Brian, do you mind helping me do this presentation? That started it. I went on, then I would say it's a stage, but I went in front of these 100 and some people. We split up the material. She did one part, I did another. And here's the thing, Derek. I get in front of these people, and it's information that I know. Remember, I told you, I've been doing this for over 20 years, right? So the material I knew, I just didn't think me getting in front of people really would make that big of a difference. I'm out there talking, I'm spitting, and I'm doing my stuff. After I get done, just like you guys, after I get done, I have a line of about 15 people. They're waiting to just talk to me. The light bulb went off. My mind was like, hold on. All these people want to talk to me, and they're talking about how good of a job I did. And I was like, dude, I practiced, but I didn't put my all into it because I'm not a speaker like that. That started the transmission of me thinking, hold on, I'm on to something. And I started speaking for realtors and builders for about a good year. And I was trying to help them with their business.
Like just me being, I guess, that investment, financial, corporate environment. Like, you have any advice for me? As
Yeah, I want you to know that you are going to be one of the very few black people, male, female. So know that going in. Know that you are, if you have this itch, right, to go into this field, it is for a reason. You have to go. Because sometimes it's just paving the way for other people. Just like I'm here speaking, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sharing my story is to help inspire. You can do very well. Do very, very well. Stay in it, man. I'm client facing. Like, I'm out here with the people. There's not that many of us that are client facing, representing an industry like the financial services that's out here winning and doing it big. And I can say that over the course of my career, I've done it really big. But for many, many years, I was just building my family, my own career. I wasn't really sharing it. And so one thing I want to leave you is, as you are building your career, and even if you move away from Cap Trust, share your story, Derek. Because there's other young brothers, other young women that look at you and they're like, how did he do it? And you got to share it.